Hello, welcome to the chat, everyone, or welcome to the stream, might I say. Just let me fix everything up. I can take this off now. Okay, sweet, there we are. I'm sitting on like a weird angle, just let me fix that up, that's a bit strange. Welcome. Just let me fix something up on the Twitter, because I need to do that. Okay, here we go. Okay, sweet. Okay, just let me move some stuff on my desk. There's crap everywhere. I'll just move my phone over here, and hopefully that's all good. Okay, welcome everyone to the stream. Yeah, they are on Monday. They're before Legends, or Monday American time, I guess. But I think I mentioned that I might stream. Oh no, I wasn't going to stream today. I wasn't. I think I mentioned on my Discord earlier on that I'll probably stream, and I'm streaming now. Usually I would stream tomorrow, in like 4 hours before now tomorrow, so in like 20 hours, I guess you would say. But yeah, but I was going to go to the movies today, and I couldn't be bothered. I woke up and I was like, this is a day I cannot be bothered doing anything. So I literally planned videos, and that's about it. I know that's doing something, but I literally watched TV while I was doing it. So because it's Flash is on break, or hiatus, as I've put in the title. So no, I just had a shower. So if it looks weird, it's just my hair's sort of wet still. So yeah, I've had a shower. And also, this should almost be like real time as well. I've changed the latency. So basically, I should be seeing the chat as it's going now. So hopefully, we're all good now. So hopefully, there isn't a massive gap. Like if you type, "Hi, I'm a potato" or something in the stream chat, it should appear on stream within hopefully 5 to 10 seconds, not like 30 seconds or something like my last streams were doing. So hopefully that's good. Hopefully that's awesome. That's probably the best way to go. But yeah, I'll probably stream again tomorrow, like I usually would, but Arrow's not on, but I'll still stream then, because I usually stream then anyway, a couple of hours before Arrow. But yeah, anyway, so Sam, thank you for the $2 super chat. We need that Grant Gustin, might I say, cameo in the Flash film. Yeah, that's awesome. I would love to see that as well. We'll jump into that in a second, because it'll be like one of the talking points, I guess, if people haven't heard. But we'll just jump into the general procedure of the stream, if you want to call it. So yeah, basically just keep the chat civil, no derogatory or offensive terms. You know, I don't think I have to really go too in depth as to what that means. So just keep it nice, keep it nice and simple. Have a nice time in the chat. If you do want to support the stream or get your question or comment 100% read out like Sam did just then, as well as Monquois, which we'll jump into in a second, you can click the little dollar emblem down here. I'll do it again. You click this little dollar emblem. It's a super chat. You go send a super chat, and you can just drag up to whatever amount you want. You can just type in, "Are we the Flash?" ? That could be a comment if you wanted it to be like that. Yeah, there you go, buy and send or whatever, and that'll appear on stream. And if you can't do that, you can click the link at the top of the description, which says streamlabs.com/Pagey, which is another form to donate and appear on stream if you can't super chat in your specific country or device, because some devices can't do it. Whew, we got through that. So if you do that, it'll help that channel out a lot, especially through this hiatus. Damn, the CW, you're ruining my channel. Anyway, all good. So Monquois with the $1.99 super chat. Thank you very much for that. Mayor doesn't work for Oliver. Could he get his company back? I think it matters, like, because the thing is, a lot of people I wanted to see Oliver as mayor. Don't get me wrong. I wanted to see him as mayor. If you watch my videos from like whenever it was before he became mayor, I was saying like, yo, let's do it. But in the comics, he's not like that's not like his main thing. He was mayor, like that's a big story arc for him. But he was a businessman for the majority of it. The mayor is just a storyline that he's involved with, which wouldn't surprise me if they go down that same route in Rebirth. I'm not up to date with Green Arrow. I don't read it issue by issue. I wait till the volumes are out. So yeah, I gotta wait till that happens. But if you can hear something, I gave my dog like a cup with peanut butter all through the inside, and he's just banging it around downstairs. So if you can hear some like slight tapping, that's my dog playing with the peanut butter cup, if you want to call it that. Well, it's essentially a peanut butter cup. It's a cup with peanut butter in it, so I guess you could call it that. But I don't think we'll see him go back to the business side unless it's like the last season and they set that up. So that's what we, like when the series ends of Arrow, we just assume that he's going to be doing that afterwards. He's just going to be running the business. Like, most likely Queen Industries. I doubt they'd go back to Queen Consolidated, which was in the earlier seasons. Like in the comics, it's Queen Industries for the most part. So hopefully they'd go back to that. But that could be like in the last season. It's just like something that's like an open ending, if that makes sense. I don't mind him as mayor. I think it works for involving his personal life, so I don't really mind watching it, to be completely honest. But I don't know if the stream dropped there quickly. I think it might have. I just saw my kilobytes per second go down, but I think it was only for like half a second. So hopefully it wasn't too annoying. But thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that, Monqua. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that name right as well. Because you've super chatted a decent amount of times, and I always get like a bit triggered if or just a bit worried, might I say, that I'm mispronouncing it. Anyway, Sam once again with the $2 super chat. Are we the Flash? Well, I'd have to say yes, but it's a topical question. It's a very... I think it's hard to confirm whether we all are the Flash or just a specific amount of people are the Flash. Barry saying it was Iris's call to transfer his speed was something. Well, bad. Would say it was bad. I think it was just more connecting the whole We Are the Flash thing. Like, I said in my review yesterday, I don't know why they made it such... If it was like just in passing, like, oh, you sure you want to give it your speed and it just went by quickly, it'd be okay. But they really focused on it in 2 different scenes. It was like, it doesn't have to be that much of a focus. Like, does it have to be that much of a focus? Because it was Iris's right... Like, Iris had to give it back, if that makes sense. Like, I gave it, like, if you find something that isn't yours and say... You know the person who owns it, you're going to give it back to them. You're not going to keep it. You know what I mean? Like whether it's a mobile phone or something. Matthew Caron, I'm unsubscribing from your YouTube channel because I have to pay to ask you a question. Well, you're not, because I'm asking someone's question from the chat right now. Either you're just not... you typed it once and just have to hope that I just scroll back up and see it, or you're posting a weird question that I'm just not going to bother answer, or it's a question I've already answered. So there's going to be a lot of people that are going to write stuff in the chat and not going to see the question. Like... Anyway, I'm unsynced. Am I unsynced? That's really annoying if that's the case. I think that happened last stream or something. Oh, hopefully it might fix itself up. Hopefully it fixes itself up, because I'm pretty sure it did. I'm not. Okay, so it might be if I'm unsynced, maybe refresh the stream. That might be the best way to go. Refresh the stream if it stuffs up. What was I? God damn it, who was that person that whinged in the comments? And I've forgotten what I was asking. Oh, the Barry and Iris scene. I don't know why they focused on it in 2 different scenes. I think that was a bit silly. They should have just done it in passing, just to make it, like, if they really wanted to do it in passing, but I don't know why they focused 2 different scenes on it. It felt a bit weird to me. Just let me scroll back down to the bottom. Why is this acting really weird? Okay, it's all good, I think. I'm just making sure that I'm not if I'm synced. Okay, it seems to just some people. So if I'm out of sync, maybe just refresh. It's probably the best way to go, because it seems like it's working for some people. Okay. Anyway, Naruto 0076. I watched Captain America, or the $5 super chat, might I say. I watched Captain America: The First Avenger today, and Damien Dark showed up. I was surprised. Yeah, he played I can't remember his name. He's got like a funny name. I can't remember. He was in like Peggy Carter as well, and I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He was in an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode as well. And they did like a flashback episode to... Was that like to set up Agent Carter? It was like almost like a backdoor pilot for the Agent Carter show. I don't know, but he appeared in like Agent Carter like 1 or 2 episodes at the beginning of that show, and then he was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for an episode as well, I think. What was it like? It's like Dum Dum Dugan. That's what I was gonna say. It's like DD. It's like a D alliteration. So it's Dum Dum Dugan, yeah. But yeah. So he's a Marvel DC crossover character. Neon, were you relieved that Ralph called Iris a coward? I think it was all just to set up the whole plot, because someone pointed out an inconsistency. And it was like 2 or 3 it was the episode with Izzy, I think it was. And he was like, I'm destined, or I'm set on saving these 3 metahumans. We need to do it. And then this episode, he was like, oh, is that as if he's been scared the whole season, or since he knew that like he was a boss metahuman and stuff, and DeVoe was hunting them. Someone pointed out to me, and I think it was in the comments of my review, and it was like, it feels like whoever wrote this episode just got general plot points of like the characters rather than the actual story of the season and just wrote this episode. And they didn't even watch the previous episodes leading into this one. It's almost like they always said, okay, there's this thinking cap. That Harry's building has to revolve around fighting metahumans and or learning certain things to defeat DeVoe. Write a story around that and include it. But it's not like they told him everything else beforehand, like what Ralph had gone through, and as if they didn't watch the episode, which is really weird. It's extremely weird. So, I don't know if anyone else noticed that. It just felt like the people that wrote the episode, like the Run RS Run episode, hadn't watched the previous episodes of the season. Because it didn't make sense. Especially in regards to Ralph. I don't know if I was the only one that really sort of noticed that. But someone like really pointed it out clearly in the comment section of my video. Will we see Eobard again? This season, no, I wouldn't count on it. But it would be cool to see him again at some point. I feel like it's going on hiatus because of the Iris backlash. No, it's not. A Flash usually goes on hiatus at this point. At this point of the season, it might not be after episode 16, like Run RS Run. It could be after episode 14 or 15. I think last season it was after episode 15. But it usually goes on like a 3 or 4 week break around this time, and that's just because it needs to spread the season out. So when the season ends, so like season finale, there isn't a 5-month break or something until the next season. There's only like actually it is like a 5-month break, isn't it? It's like 4 months or something. It's about 4 months, I think. Comes back to beginning of October and ends around the end of May. So it's about just over 4 months. So they don't want like a 5 or 6 month break between the end of season and the beginning of a new season. So they try and stretch it out as much as possible without making it like 2-month breaks at a time. So the off season isn't too much. And so like you only have maybe like a month and a bit break before Comic-Con and stuff like that. So that's why they do these breaks. It's annoying, but I think this was an okay episode to do it because it's not like it left on a massive cliffhanger like some other episodes could have done, which I think they actually did last season, or even Arrow did it this week with a cliffhanger, and now they're going for like 2 or 3 weeks, which was a bit annoying. Please answer, is Mick going to be the bearer of the fire totem? I hope not, because then the totems would be overused and the legends won't be the band of misfits they are. Yeah, he will, but I think the totems are going to be destroyed at the end of the season. I think the whole point of the totem, that might be why Amaya might leave the show. That might be why. I have a feeling that the totems will have to, like, something will have to happen to them in regards to them being destroyed, or something happening to them, like locked up possibly, to keep Malice down. Because I think Malice is going to come out. I think I'm coming out. I think Malice is going to come out and go, what's going on, guys? And he's going to cause a bit of mayhem, and the totems are going to have to be used in order to put him back into that hellscape. I think they've been calling it. Well, I've been calling it hellscape in my reviews, at least in my videos on Legends. But then it brings up the whole thing about Amaya and Zari, which means they could both be leaving the show because they're totem bearers, so they might have to go to their respective times and out of an era where the totems could be together, if that makes sense, in order to keep Malice down. So this could be where we see Vixen leave the show, go back to Zambezi or whatever it's called, and then Zari go back to the future. That could be what happens. But then we'd see like the fire totem get destroyed, the earth totem get destroyed, the death totem get destroyed, and I guess Kawasa might die or something. Because Kawasa's dead, she was reborn, so she might die along with the water totem. We'll have to wait and see, but I think that's what will happen. So we won't get something overpowered with like our legends having the totems from here on in. Dariel, hopefully I pronounced that right, with the $5 super chat, thank you very much for that. Do you think Melting Point could transfer other metas' powers to the Flash to buff him up and defeat DeVoe, for example, Ralph or the locked up metas? Well, because I don't think that would work, because I think with someone pointed out a massive inconsistency with Melting Pot. Remember at the beginning of the episode when he takes when he grabs the guy who was shooting fire out of his hands, takes his DNA, his DNA, and then gives it to the dude in the jacket who we saw at the end of the episode. It didn't work the same as like when he grabbed Iris and Barry. Like, why did he do this dramatic thing at the end of the episode when he grabbed them both at the same time to transfer the DNA? You know, when at the beginning of the episode he grabbed the fire dude, it took like his DNA, almost like stored within melting point, and then he gave it to the I want my money dude. There was a bit of an inconsistency there. They really should have labeled him as a guy who could just take meta powers and transfer them instead of saying DNA, because it wasn't DNA. Because if he'd taken the DNA from the original fire dude, then what did he take from the roadie dude? And if he took stuff from the roadie dude, who did he give the roadie dude's DNA to? Like, you know what I mean? He can take meta powers. That's the way they should have worded it. It's a bit confusing. But if he were to, you know, take meta powers of other people and give them to the Flash, he would only be able to give one at a time. And in turn, he would technically take Barry's powers. I think that's how it would work. Once again, his powers haven't been really properly explained. Like, can he take a power and just like keep giving it to someone? Almost like devose little things that are attached to people's brains? Or is it like, if he had like a, I don't know, like Cisco's ability, if he grabs Cisco's ability, walked away from Cisco and then went up to Barry and grabbed him, would Barry get his speed as well as Cisco's breaching abilities? Or would he only have Cisco's breaching abilities and then his powers would go into melting point and he would store them until he touched someone else? It's a bit confusing, and they didn't really properly explain that, but it looks like melting pot will be showing up again later this season at some point, wherever that is, and they might dive deeper into what his powers actually mean. Seeing that they actually have him in Star Labs now, or at least can communicate with him because he's been there, maybe they might be able to test his abilities more and give a proper definition as to what they mean. We'll have to wait and see, though. It's a bit confusing, isn't it? Yesterday's episode was a bit of a headache. It was a mess in... A lot of people... I called it a mess in my review, and everyone thought, oh, you're just hating Iris. I was like, did you watch my review? I really didn't even mention Iris too much in regards to the negative stuff. It was just like, the overall story was just like... It should have been 2 episodes, as I said in my review yesterday. It should have been 2 episodes. If it was 2 episodes, it would have been sweet. Thank you, First Gen Gamer. Yeah, it's been insane. Like, even recently... I've had like a massive boost. I'm not too sure what it is because I don't think my views have necessarily been up. Yeah, it's sort of weird. I don't even know where it's coming from. I guess it's because maybe Flash is getting to the end of the season. Whenever that happens, we get into like that end of the season run with a show, you know, more people are starting to watch YouTube and theories and different things like that, interested in what's happening. So maybe that's why it's going up, but I haven't been able to pick out anything like exact as to what's going on. But thank you very much for that. Jason Todd on Arrow. No, Jason Todd's going to be on Titans, so that would be pretty cool. Harrison Wells of Earth 1 is a murderer. And how does Harrison Wells of Earth 2 running... Hold on. Please answer. Harrison Wells of Earth 1 is a murderer, and how does Harrison Wells, I guess, of Earth 2 run around to Earth 1? Well, it's his magical device. Some of you might have heard of it. It's actually pretty... cutting edge. Like, I can't believe they're actually using it on the show because I didn't think a show like The Flash would be able to use it. It's a thing called a baseball cap. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's actually pretty insane, like how they're able to get the rights to use it on the show. But yeah, it's this device called a baseball cap. Yeah, and it hides his identity pretty damn well. Did you know they're going to make Young Justice Season 3 around December? Are you excited? It's coming out before that, isn't it? Or did they say it's coming out December? Yeah, it's basically, the hat is basically like Clark Kent's glasses. That's basically the best way to put it. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was coming out earlier. I thought it was coming out with the launch of that streaming service, which I thought was coming out around October, but I don't know. Whenever that streaming service comes out, it'll be Young Justice and Titans. That'll be the 2 shows that go on there, along with all the other DC properties and stuff. So it'll be worth subscribing to. Did you watch Black Panther? It was really good. Yeah, I've seen it 3 times now. I haven't seen it, like, it's still in cinemas, obviously, but I haven't seen it. Like, I saw it 3 times within like maybe a week and a half, maybe. I saw it twice within a couple of days, and then I saw it the 3rd time, maybe like, I'd say about a week later, maybe just under a week later. But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. It had issues. It wasn't a perfect movie, but I still enjoyed it a lot. Sorry, I was looking at Twitter. There was something stupid on Twitter that I was looking at. Um, is there really a Titan episode about Red Hood? Yeah, the episode's called Jason Todd, and he's gonna be Red Hood, from what they're saying. And what they're saying as well about the Titan show is that Dick Grayson's going to be Robin for the majority of it, and then he's going to become Nightwing later on. That might be wrong, but that's what I heard. Someone just started a real petition to get Candice Patton off the show. Well, if you support that, you're a bit of an asshole, because I think there's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with Candice Patton. I think she actually does a really good job on the show. I think she's one of the better actresses in the whole, or the better actors, might I say, combining the male and female people on the show, in the whole Arrowverse. I think she's got a lot of potential there. The issue is that the writing for Iris is shocking. She's probably the worst written character in regards to a main character. She's up there, probably the top 3, top 4. She's got terrible writing, but the fact that like no one calls her out like the Iris character out too much is a, like, I guess, praise for Iris, if you want to call it. Not Iris, sorry, Candice Patton, that she can take this extremely shitty material and turn it into borderline diamonds, or, you know, I don't know, what's just below a diamond, like I don't know, a ruby? I don't know, something like that. You know, turning dirt into diamonds, or essentially like that. So the fact that she can do that is pretty damn impressive. But I don't know, the fact that someone has done that obviously means they don't understand the show at all. So whoever wrote that shouldn't even be watching The Flash, to be completely honest. The fact that they're calling for Candice Patton to actually go means they don't even. I mean, I think what they are, whoever started that petition is obviously someone that is just bandwagoning on people not liking Iris, but then converting it to hate towards the actress. And I think even if a character is terrible, and it is the actress's fault that the character is terrible, the actress or actor should still not get hate. You know, they still should not get hate, no matter what. Like, even though I didn't like Felicity in season 3 and 4, borderline hated Felicity in season 4. None of that leaked over to Emily Bett Rickards. None of that leaked over. They're separate. They look the same, obviously, because they're the same looking person, because one's portraying the other, but they're not the same person. Anyway, let's not talk about it. It's stupid. Anyway, sorry, I just need to go through some super chats I need to answer. Dariel, sorry. It's on super chat. I'm not wearing my glasses, I should be, and I need to, like, focus, but it looks like Daniel. But Dariel, thank you once again for the $2 super chat. Flash is supposed to be funny. Why not in the show? He's meant to be, like, quippy, and that's more the Wally West. So that's why in, like, the Justice League movie, they combine Wally West and Barry Allen. So you get that quippiness while you also get, like, Barry smarts as well. But I think what they do on the Flash show is that they give Barry more serious stuff, and then they leave all the quippy stuff and all the funny stuff to Cisco. That's probably what they do, and that's why Cisco's in the show, and some more stuff like that. But yeah, like that. Maybe they should have. Look, this episode coming up. I know I say coming up. It's a month away, I guess, because we're on break. But it looks funny. Like there's you see it in the trailer. Like Ralph's making fun of Barry because he's floating, and like Barry just says something that I found hilarious when he just goes, "I swear, Ralph," because it just shows that Barry's so frustrated. But that's a funny line. Even though Grant Gustin's being serious at that point, you can just tell that exchange is going to be funny, and it doesn't work if both of them aren't there. You know. So even though I think Barry does say some funny stuff even when he's serious, just because he's playing off someone that's obviously being more humorous. So yeah, like that's why he's not funny on the show necessarily, like compared to what other like forms of media that the Flash is in. But that's because like they have other characters to do that. We have Frosty Flash Vibes with a $5 super chat. Thank you very much for that. Cisco's Friday the 13th shirt was awesome. All I got to say about yesterday's episode. Got to get that shirt. Yeah, I saw that, but I didn't notice it till later. I was like, TGIF. And then I looked up and I was like, oh, it's Jason Voorhees' mask. I didn't notice that till like maybe halfway through the episode, but that's an awesome shirt. I think there's a Reddit page or maybe a Twitter page. I think it's Twitter. I might be wrong. Someone might know it. I think it's Twitter, and they literally, if say like Cisco has a funny shirt or someone has like a cool outfit or something, they'll find it. and they'll link you to where to buy it if you wanted to like get that shirt or dress like a. It's not just for Flash. I think it's for all the Arrowverse shows as well. I think Arrow does it as well. But Arrow, it's actually funny. Someone did it for Arrow, and like the Arrow people are wearing like Gucci shirts and stuff on the show. It's really weird. And then on Flash, they're wearing like more affordable things. Like I think it was Curtis. In one episode was wearing like a sweater that was worth like $1,500 or something, and I was like, what the hell? Like I was like, what? I thought he was running out of money, to be completely honest. I thought like Felicity was the one investing money into their startup. Anyway, but yeah, someone might know what it is. If someone does, I can't remember off the top of my head what it is. But yeah, it might just be called like Flash outfits or something really simple as that. But yeah, but thank you very much for that, Frosty Flash. I think I've got that right. Yeah, that shirt was pretty cool. I don't know if I'd wear it, but it was still a pretty cool shirt. Naruto 0076 with the $5 super chat. Thank you very much for that. Is Melting Pot the Peter Pirelli season 1 or Petrelli, might I say, season 3? Lol. Also, is Iris finally going back to reporting? I only watched Heroes season 1, so I can only really say Peter Petrelli season 1. But wasn't he like, didn't he take powers and use them himself? Wasn't that I can't really remember Heroes too much, to be completely honest. But from what I remember, didn't he take powers and use them himself? Let me know in the comments. I think that's what it was, wasn't it? Anyway, and is Iris finally going back to reporting? I wouldn't expect it like right off the get-go, but hopefully by the end of the season, it gets to a point where she's wants to go back to CCPN or Central City Picture News. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping happens, because look, I think for the show to work better and the show to work like it did in season 1 and 2, Iris needs to be out of Star Labs and be the connective tissue between not only Team Flash in the outside world, but us in the outside world. Like, how often do we see like Central City, like just the general public of Central City? Never. We never do, unless it's like a bank heist or something. You know, you never see it anymore. So if they get Iris back into that reporting thing, we see that. We see her out in the streets doing her job, and we get that connective tissue, which I think we've been missing. It's been something that's been missing from the Flash for a while now. So as soon as that happens, like, the better. But don't expect it straight away. Like, I think we'll see that blog stuff happening, and then we'll just see it slowly creep into the show. Thank you, Joseph, for the very nice comment. Thank you very much. How do they afford their apartments? Sorry, they don't have jobs. Well, they probably had money saved up, but they're like living paycheck to paycheck. But yeah, I understand what you mean. Like, Barry still would have like had money. Yes, I know Austin. Actually, remember you Streamlabbing. I was actually sick typing me. Streamlabs, okay. Just let me load it up. I'll get to it in a second. I saw a question. Okay, actually, I'll get to it later. Anyway, Monqua Edwards once again with a $1.99 super chat. Thank you very much for that. What if Caitlin's mum takes over Star Labs? I think I heard something that we're meant to see her back this season, and it hasn't happened. Unless it's happening later this season. I know there's another Aminet Black episode, which I think is episode 20 or 21. But yeah, thank you very much for that, Viviana. Yeah, Viviana. Sorry, I thought it said Vivana for a second. I don't have I should be wearing my glasses. They're over there, and I cannot be bothered walking over there. I thought they were bringing Caitlin's mum back for this season, but as I said, it could be later this season. Episode 20, I think they're filming at the moment, so she could be in that because Aminet Black's meant to be in that one. So you'd think that'd be a Killer Frost episode, or at least Killer Frost heavily involved in that episode. But yeah, she could be back for that, but I don't think she'd take over Star Labs. Around how much money would the streaming service be for? The DC one? You'd have to guess around Netflix money, maybe like $9, $10 a month, give or take a couple of dollars. I wouldn't really be able to give you what's the is it CBS that does one? What's CBS cost? Because it'd probably be around that price. I think they're $5 a month, maybe. Not too sure. Okay, let me log into Streamlabs. Oh, they changed their design. This is weird. That's my channel. Allow, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Come on. This takes so long to load. Anyway, I'm just look through the chat. Sorry, I'm doing like 20 different things at once. So like I'm looking at like I'm going up and down like a ping pong game. Barry's mother and father's insurance policies. That's how they have money. That's rough, Roy. That's rough. Obviously, he's talking about death insurance. I'm guessing, or life insurance, if you want to call it. Oh, life insurance. That's what you'd call it. I know like Eobard or Earth One Harrison Wells gave him all the stuff to Star Labs, but like Barry wasn't able to afford bills back at the end of season, like whatever it was. So, you know. Anyway, okay. I'll just answer Sam's and I'll get to the Streamlabs. Sam with the $5 super chat. Thank you very much for that, Sam. What would you want to see on the 100th episode of The Flash? Just to throw out something random. Why are both the Flash TV show and movie filming in the same city? I don't know. I'm surprised they're doing that because there's 2 DC properties filming in Toronto right now in Shazam and the Titans TV show. So wouldn't they go and film in Toronto? Wouldn't you go film in Toronto? That just makes... You'd think they would. Like, you'd be able to use crew that live in Toronto. You know, they'd be familiar with stuff like that. Why wouldn't they go film in Toronto? It's not confirmed that they're filming in Vancouver. I think it's just like highly suggested that's going to happen. Or they're going to film at least some of the movie in Vancouver. But I don't know why they wouldn't film in Toronto. Because they filmed there before with DC movies like right now. And, you know, different properties of DC. So, yeah. It's going to be weird. But I think like... Some things might look familiar, but the one thing I think I said on Twitter that my prediction as to one thing that they might use in the movie that's in the TV show is probably the outside of Central City Police Department. I think that's a library, or it could be like a town hall in Vancouver. It wouldn't surprise me if they use that because it looks like the entry to a police department. So it wouldn't surprise me if they use that in the movie. But maybe it's shot from like a different angle, so it looks a bit different. But yeah. But in regards to the 100th episode of The Flash, you'd probably bring Black Flash, Reverse Flash, all the speedsters back, do some crazy thing. The issue with the 100th episode of The Flash, though, is that it's a crossover episode. So unless they want to shift the crossover episode so the Flash isn't involved in it, they could do that. Because I think if I'm CW, I'm making episode 7 of next season for all the shows a crossover episode and letting Flash have its own 100th episode. Arrow, I think, worked in the crossover from last season because the aliens were able to put them in this alternate dimension where they could bring characters from the past back into the show. But with Flash, you know, you got to have its own thing. Make Barry just interacting with all these speedsters, bring in speedsters we haven't met just for this one episode. Ridiculous. Just make it ridiculous. Like, I don't care if it makes no sense. Just bring in as much speedsters so my head explodes. I'm like, what the hell am I looking at? Just do that and I'd be one happy camper. Yeah, Zoom. Earth 1 Hunter Zolomon. He's yellow Zoom. Like, it looks like Reverse Flash. Reverse Flash is back. We got Black Flash. We got Jay Garrick. We got Jesse Quick. We got Wally. We got Bart coming in saying, what's doing? This house is bitching. We got Mystery Girl, whoever she is, coming in. Just Eddie. Eddie can come in and say, I became a speedster somehow. Patty Spivot. Hey, I'm Hot Pursuit now. Look at my cool bike. All this incredible stuff. Johnny Quick. Insane. Both evil and both good. They could do insane crap with that. Why not do it? Just go out there. Just go over the top. Who cares if it doesn't make sense? Just make it look really cool. That's all you have to do. But that's what I would do with the 100th episode, to be completely honest. But I'll just answer Austin's donation through Streamlabs. He didn't touch him at the same time he touched Iris then touched Barry. Did he? Oh, well, same thing, I guess. You know. Yeah, just... I might have been wrong there, okay, with the whole thing out there. Anyway, who cares? But thank you very much for that, Austin, anyway. But yeah, 100th episode, just make my mind explode and we're all good. BTK Predator, or BTK Predator, with the $5 super chat, thank you very much for that. Did you see the link I tagged you in on Twitter about Dawn Allen? An EP from The Flash said that the mysterious character isn't Dawn or Jenny. Yeah, I saw that, and I'll probably do a video on that this weekend, but here's a spoiler. You know what the executive producers and I think about 3 or 4 of the cast members said last season? They said that Savitar wasn't future Barry. Yes. Siri, did I tell you that you could talk? Wait, hold on. Let me stop that. How do I hold it down, don't I? Siri, who is Savitar?
Okay, check it out.
Oh, you gave me the comic, you idiot. Okay, Siri, you're a fail. Anyway, yeah, the EP said that Savitar wasn't future Barry because they wanted to stop speculation and people guessing that it was him. So then when it happened on the show, everyone was like, what the hell? Didn't they say that this wasn't future Barry? So they were sort of surprised because they'd gone off the idea that he was future Barry. So the fact that he's come out and said this means that someone's picked it. Someone's picked it. For him to come out and say this means that someone's picked it. So it might not be Dawn Allen, but it could be something that someone's picked. So this could be Jenny Ognatz. It could be DeVoe's daughter. It could be someone else. So someone's picked it. And that's why the executive producer has come out and said this. You see it with a lot of different things as well. Usually when someone's picked it, it means that the producer or someone with the cast will come out and try and shoot, what do you call it? Shoot it down, if you want to call it. Or try and bury it. But yeah, someone's picked it for sure. It might not be Dawn, but maybe, yeah. There's a couple of options out there. So one of the options that's been said is true. So that's why the executive producer has come out and said that. So I don't know it's why it's that big of a story, because I thought everyone remembered them saying the whole Savitar thing last season. So that's why here's the thing, I know it sounds stupid saying this, but if the executive producers say something, take it with a grain of salt. Take it with a grain of salt, because most likely they're just saying it so you keep watching the show, you know? But yeah. Also, the show isn't spoiled for you, but I can't see you predicting something as a spoiler. A spoiler is when something's confirmed and you say it. So, like, if you saw pictures of, like, say in Arrow Season 4, Laurel's funeral or something, that's a spoiler if you tell someone, because it's confirmed through set photos that is happening. But if you just think, oh, I think Laurel might die this season, that's not a spoiler, that's just you theorizing. Anyway, we went off on a tangent there, but basically the moral of the story, don't listen to the executive producers or the cast, because they usually try and bury theories. But thank you very much for that, BCK Predator. Naruto 0076 with the $5 super chat once again. Pagey in Season 1, Peter Petrelli can keep as many powers as he wants. In Season 3, he can only hold one power. Yeah, okay. I thought that's what it was. Yeah, I thought in Season 1 he could just take as many powers as he wants. I didn't know in Season 3 he could only hold one power, but as I said, I know I watched Heroes Season 1. I don't know about Season 2, though. But that'd be pretty... That's basically DeVoe this season, just taking the powers, isn't he? May as well call him Peter Petrelli or PP. That'd be a pretty... He wouldn't like that name, would he? PP. Anyway. Jonah Nagi, hopefully I pronounced that right, or Nagi, one of the two. Hopefully I pronounced it right. If I haven't, sorry, I'm sorry. How do you think the Legends will end this season? And if you think you have enough information, how do you think the other shows will end this season? Legends, I think if you've watched some of my videos, if you've been watching my Legends videos this season, you would know one thing I really want the Legends to introduce, and it'd be really cool if they get introduced to it, or it becomes an option at the end of this season, is multiverse travel. I think it'd be awesome if Gideon or the Wave Rider or it's something, they come across something that allows them to travel through the multiverse, and that just opens up the door for next season for Legends. It makes it just so cool. Hopefully, like, writers, I know you've filmed the last episode, but get them back and film one more scene. They find like a multiverse travel device. That would be awesome. I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks that, but you know, there's only so many seasons, so you can travel through time and introduce interesting stories around that. Bring in multiverse travel. I think it's an easy option. I think it's cool. Does anyone agree with me? Am I the only one that thinks that? In regards to the other seasons, I don't know. I want Flash to have a cliffhanger, but I want the cliffhanger to just be like us meeting the villain, and then that's it. We just see the villain, or we get like a teaser who the villain is, and maybe they do something pretty badass, but we don't actually see who it is fully, but you can get a good hint as to who it is. That's what I would like with Flash. Arrow, maybe like just something to do with Oliver. That'd be pretty cool, and we're left like, oh, what's going on? Like, what I want all the seasons to end is just like a question, whether it's you wondering who that is, or what's happening here, or what's going to happen to this person, or like, where are we? Like something like that, you know, just a question at the end of the season is what I want to see. But yeah, because the Flash's season 3 cliffhanger was I think the biggest cliffhanger of the season 3 one was like the Speedfall storm. Like nothing happened there. I'm going to talk about that in a video over the hiatus, or this couple of week break that we have from the Flash. But that was really because we knew Barry was going to come out of the Speed Force. We knew he wasn't going to be in there for that long, so it wasn't that big of a thing. Like Arrow had the big one, which sort of failed on its return. Legends had one where you were wondering like what the hell happened here? Like why the hell are there dinosaurs in LA in 2017? That was a pretty insane one. Yeah, there's heaps of different things that they could do, and yeah, like I think. Yeah, just a question. I just want all the seasons to end with us like wondering about one question or wondering one thing, might I say. So that's what I'd want to say, to be completely honest. Why is the Flash on hiatus? It's just them spreading the season so the off season isn't too long. That's the easiest way to do it. Like March Madness, the college basketball's on, so that's like a little excuse. But it's just that they need to spread out the season so the off season isn't too long. Why do the cliffhangers always get a quick fix? It's probably just because they want to get onto the season's story. Legends hasn't got a quick fix. Technically it has, but I think it was more us wondering like what was going on rather than that being a quick fix. Like Flashpoint was technically a quick fix. The Arrow this season's beginning was a quick fix, but I don't think Legends was, because I think it was relevant to the season. The past episode of Black Lightning was good. I haven't watched it yet. I'm watching it tonight. I always usually watch Black Lightning the night after because there's nothing on today. There's Riverdale actually, but I'll watch both of them probably. But yeah, Black Lightning only has like what, 3 episodes or 4 episodes left, I think. I want season 4 of The Flash to end with just a shit ton of speedsters showing up, not showing us who they are, just loads of different lightning color streaks that come to a standstill. That'd be pretty cool because it could set up like the Speed Force storm actually being a thing, you know? But yeah, that'd be pretty cool. My personal pick would be like a portal opening and Cobalt Blue coming out. That'd be pretty cool. I think if you've watched my Cobalt Blue video for this season, you would have, I think I said it in that video. But yeah, that's what I want to see. Will Dragon end up killing Diggle? I think that's a popular theory. I think a lot of people do think Diggle's going to die this season. I might make a video on that because Arrow's on break for another like 2 weeks as well. Waiting to see. Because I don't want people like saying, oh, you spoiled it. But we'll go through some like evidence and stuff as well to see if it could happen. Naruto 0076 with a $2 super chat. Thank you very much. I would love to see alternate history on Legends. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I wouldn't mind seeing that, to be completely honest, as well. Like, personally, multiverse is at the top of my thing, but I wouldn't mind getting that if that was, like, the settlements. Like, okay, we can't give you multiverse travel Pagey, mate, but we can give you this. And I'd be like, okay, I can deal with that. Just, you know, form a really cool story around that, and we're sweet. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Who were the metas that they say in the last episode? They were Null, who's in the next episode. You see her in the trailer, she has like the blue hair, and she can affect gravity for certain people. And then there's Edwin Gauss, who's the Folded Man, and he's in episode 18. And he can like, does stuff with dimensions, and he's probably going to be a pivotal part in regards to getting to DeVoe's pocket dimension hideout, most likely. How does Harry get as smart as DeVoe with that dark matter? Well, that's essentially what the thinking cap was. It was like replicating the effects of dark matter from what I remember. I think that was their explanation. If anyone wants to dive deeper into that, you can in the chat, but I think that was like the easy way to explain it. Sorry for yawning. I'm just checking a text message. Okay. There we go. It's 7:31 in India, mate. I feel like, is that in the morning? It'd be in the morning, wouldn't it? India? Or is that at night? I think it's the morning. Should be morning. What about Supergirl's ending? I don't really know because I'm not familiar with Supergirl. Unless they did like a Superman villain, but I don't think they will. Honestly don't know. It could be something to do with the Legion of Superheroes, maybe. That could be like their sort of cliffhanger could be a villain associated with them. Because from what I've heard, they're going to be in next season as well. They're going to be sticking around. Who do you think will die at the end of season 4? Well, really, the only option is Ralph, I guess. He could be the only one I think that could die. Actually, we'll save it. We'll save it. There's another option, and I'll talk about it in my video in the next couple of days. I won't spoil it here. How can they introduce Cobalt Blue Pay? Oh, what the hell happened there? I just scrolled up like heaps. How can they introduce Cobalt Blue? It matters who they're going to make Cobalt Blue. If it's Eddie, they could just make it that, because at the end of season 1, when the singularity opens and we see Eddie's body get sucked in, they could make it out that the whatever was in there reactivated his body and makes him into Cobalt Blue, and he wants, but it turns him into it turns him a bit evil, and he's after Barry. Like, he remembers everything what happened. That'd be one thing they could do. Or he comes back to Earth 1, or our Earth, just present day, and maybe he doesn't remember anything, but he gets, sees Barry and sees Iris and gets triggered and remembers everything, but he remembers it in a very negative way, as if, Barry is his enemy. So he's going to set out to destroy everything that Barry holds dear and loves and stuff like that. And that could be what Cobalt Blue is after. And that's how I would set him up. But, the entry point, cliffhanger would be, a portal opening and him walking out, or him, rolling out or just falling out or something and waking up, and you just see... You might not see his head, but you just see, something that, hints at Cobalt Blue. He might have, a Cobalt Blue suit on or something like that, or maybe, a talisman, something like that, which Cobalt Blue has in the comics. That's what I would go with. Something really cool like that. Doug Snyder with the $1.99 super chat. What if Axel is Malice? Doug, you cold-hearted son of a bitch. I'm still grieving over Axel. I haven't gotten over it. I'm speechless. I can't believe you would bring this up. Doug, what the hell? Look, Doug, I don't know what's going on. Why you felt to personally attack me like this. I'm not happy about it. Okay, we'll stop with it. We'll stop with the act. Axel is Mixed Rat was Mixed Rat in Legends of Tomorrow. Axel won't be Malice. It'd be weird if they brought him back into it though, if you think about it. But damn it, Doug. I think that's right. Get some damn it Dougs in the chat. But thank you very much for the super chat, Doug. It's much appreciated. Sam, once again, with the $5 super chat. Explain the Diggle death theory. I heard that Quentin was a possibility, which would suck because he is such a good actor, but in protecting Laurel, he'll die. The Diggle death theory just relates to the comic run and the connection there, and also what's happened in this season of Arrow so far. But I'll explain more if I do that video, which I most likely will, because I'm going to have to do some Arrow content over this break, because we've still got a decent break from it. Quentin, yeah, Quentin's probably the top of the list, I think, for people to die on the season, apart from maybe Renee and Dinah, who maybe they might not die, they'll just leave. Because of Quentin's involved with the Laurel storyline, there could be something there that happens where, he could die. I don't want him to die, like you're saying. It'd suck, but, he's had a long run, and he's seen, his daughters die a handful of times, so maybe it's his time to die. But yeah, I don't really want to dive into the Diggle death theory, because I think I'd be spoiling that video, because I don't like doing theories and stuff on the stream, just because I don't have the time, and I don't have the notes and stuff to go over to properly explain it, so I'll most likely leave something out that makes it make sense. What if Laurel kills Quentin? That'd be pretty harsh. I don't think that will happen. If anything, Quentin will die in front of Laurel, and it'll resort to Laurel teaming up with someone to take whoever killed Quentin or had a hand in killing Quentin down. Do you like the line, "We are the Flash"? It's coming from Cool Cupcake Gaming with the $1.99 super chat. Honestly, I didn't think much of it when I heard the line at first. It didn't really bother me too much, but I thought it was I was wondering what the significance of the line was, but didn't annoy me. Now I just find it funny whenever it's a meme. I use it all the time to just meme it up and stuff on Twitter. But yeah, I don't really think too much of it. That's probably the best way to put it. I know it triggers a lot more people than it does me. It doesn't really trigger me. I find it funny. I think the West Allen fans maybe use it a bit too too much, you know what I mean? As in, like, they use it as some, like, sort of like Shakespearean line, which, you know, and like it's saying it's metaphoric. It's like, look, it's a bit far calling it like metaphoric and like Shakespearean and stuff. It's not that deep. It just doesn't really bother me, to be completely honest. Like, I'd be very, very surprised if after this season they even use it. I think it's a line that they want to use this season, along with like "this house is bitchin'," to be completely honest. Sorry, what was this? Okay, sweet. I was just making sure that I wasn't scrolled up and missed something. John Sims with the $5 super chat. Thank you very much, John, for that. Mystery Girl is Joe and Cecile's daughter, and the reason she looked evil when she looked at Caitlyn is because she knows she tried to kill her mum. Hey, that's true. That is true. That'd be a possibility. I actually have another theory about that whole her looking thing, which I will go over in a video in the next week, or probably the next... Actually, might say in the next couple of days, because I think it's at the top of my priority list, if you want to call it that. But yeah, that's a good theory. That's possible. My theory around that was because maybe Caitlyn does go Killer Frost again and becomes a villain again. So maybe that's why she was looking at her saying, hey, you're future Killer Frost. I'm not a fan of you. But yeah, it works either way, I guess. You know, I guess it does involve Killer Frost, I guess, because she was Killer Frost when she dealt with Cecile. But thank you very much. Thank you very much for that, John. Super Base 1 with a $2 super chat. Thank you very much for that. And Jose Vasquez, I've pronounced that correctly, hopefully, with the $5 super chat. How do you think the show will introduce Dawn Allen to Barry and Iris, and do you think she may be a speedster? Well, look, with this Dawn Allen, like if we're talking about the Jitters girl or the coffee shop girl, this mystery girl that we've been calling it Dawn Allen, she's been appearing in every 4 episodes. So she was in episode 8, then she was in episode, actually, theory broken because there's only 3, no, 9, 10, 11. Okay, every 3 or 4 episodes, we'll say that. So she was in episode 8, then episode 11, and then episode 15. So we should expect her at the end of episode 18 or 19 again if we're going off that formula. So we could get a big hint at it there. I think they need to hint it around there, like give some sort of like concrete information as to who she could possibly be. And then it could be in like those next 1 or 2 episodes where they dive into it. Episode 20 is called Therefore She Is, which could be referring to many characters. It could be referring to Caitlyn. It could be referring to Iris. It could be referring to this Dawn Allen character. It could be referring to Marlies DeVoe. It could be referring to multiple characters. But I would be expecting to find something out then. And it might not be Barry and Iris that learn about it first. That'd be the most interesting thing. Maybe we, the audience, learn who she is. And they might not even know throughout this season. In regards to her being a speedster, maybe. It's hard to tell. Whether they want to do that or not. But if she is Dawn Allen, you have to think she is a speedster. Like, in the comics she is, why not do it in the show as well? But we really haven't got too much hints of that, apart from the language, but we really don't know what that language means, because we saw DeVoe writing that language as well. So if DeVoe's writing the language, is he a speedster? So I think that language is the big key. Like, once we learn what those symbols and language is, I think that's going to explain a lot about who this character could possibly be and what her intentions are. But at this point in time, it's really hard to tell. But yeah, I don't know if she's really going to introduce herself to Barry and Iris this season. I don't know how that would work. You know, it's meddling with the future a lot. If anything, other characters would learn who she is. Or us, the audience, would know. And that could be it, maybe. She could interact with Barry and Iris, but she wouldn't say, I'm your daughter from the future. But yeah. But thank you very much. Thank you very much for that, Jose. Hopefully, I've answered that or given you an appropriate response. It was a hard one to answer, to be completely honest. Why doesn't anyone talk about Mystery Girl possibly looking at Wells or Earth 1 Wells' history as Eobard? Well, that actually plays into my video that's coming out probably in the next couple of days, but I won't give you the exact details and all of that, as I don't want to spoil it. Who's the worst character in the Arrowverse? Oh, it's probably a tie between Jimmy Olsen or James Olsen and Dinah Drake's up there. Dinah Drake's up there. I would say Renee, but he actually has some character development. How long am I going to stream for? Probably like another 10-15 minutes. I was going to announce like in the next minute or two that I'll be streaming for like another 10 or so minutes. So yeah, 10 or 15 minutes. Roughly. Am I from New Zealand? No, I'm from Australia. So, close. If the audio is off, refresh the stream. That's the best. Yeah, I think we went over this earlier. Superbase 1 with the $5 super chat. Hey, Pagey, you are the GOAT. Thank you very much. What is Monel's power set? Has he used any abilities on the show? He's the best way to think of Monel is basically when he doesn't have the ring on, he's basically like Supergirl and Superman. He just can't fly. He's basically got the same power set as Superboy before he learned to fly. That's probably the best way to put it. So he's strong. I can't really remember if he has like the heat vision and stuff, but he's just like strong and stuff like that. Like strength wise, is the same as like Superman and Supergirl, but he just can't fly. But when he has like the Legion ring, he almost becomes like a mock Superman. Has he used any abilities on the show? Not really. Monel's been so useless on the show. I don't know if they're like saving him to be this like bring him in like show his abilities to like the full extreme at some point, but really they're making him look like he's so weak and he's so useless. It's really weird what they do with Monel. I don't understand, to be completely honest. Yeah, it's actually hopefully because he's going to get the Valor suit, like the Monel suit from the comics, so hopefully they dive deeper into him being actually useful with his powers at that point. When he finally suits up like that on the show, but at the moment, from what we've seen, he's done nothing. He's pretty much pointless. But yeah. Does the Legion ring also get rid of his lead allergy? Didn't they say like when he came back to Earth that there was something from the future that cured it, or something from like when he was in around the time of the Legion? Wasn't that what they said? Because the Earth is still has like readings there which would be slowly killing Monel, but he's not being affected by it. So I think they said that something from the future was helping him. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, they cured his lead allergy. I thought I remember them mentioning that at the beginning of when he showed up in Supergirl this season. Dawn Allen or Daniela West? Which theory do you prefer? I wouldn't mind Daniela West, to be completely honest, because I would like to see like a female sort of like reverse Flash or evil Speedster. That'd be pretty cool. But I think the safe bet is Dawn Allen. Or Jenny Ognat's, like a combination of the two. But yeah, I don't know. Daniel West would be really cool to see as well, though. Is he bulletproof now? Then, I don't know. Like, I guess so. If he's cured of lead, then maybe lead bullets didn't affect him too much. I don't know. Monel's a confusing character, to be completely honest. I feel like it's pretty obvious. I think if you watch the show, Monel's there for like romantic drama. That's about it. I don't think he's there to be like an actual physical use or a physical force. I think he's basically there just to be like, oh, so Caramel can exist, which is fine if you like Caramel, but you know, for like the general viewer, like what is his point here? Do I think Bart Allen will show up? Hopefully. But I don't want them to rush it in. Like, when it's appropriate, bring it in. Where's Ben? Yeah, talking Supergirl. I feel like Ben should be here to talk that. Jonah Nagi once again with the $10 super chat. Thank you very much for that, Jonah. I almost called you Nagi. Jonah. I think I speak for everyone when I say we are all proud and impressed with you. Keep up the good work. Do you think it's possible the thinking cap could turn Harry into a sort of villain? Man, is everyone hacked into my computer and read my notes? Because everyone's bringing up my video ideas. It's insane. Everyone is bringing up my video ideas. Okay, Jonah, you hacker. Okay, I'm joking. Thank you very much for the super chat, and thank you very, very much for the nice comments. Yeah, I've actually have a video coming out about the thinking cap possibly turning Harry into a villain, because we saw what the thinking cap did to DeVoe. We saw that. We saw that, you know, he was a, you know, genuinely nice guy. He just wanted to help out himself as well as like the learning, I guess, or the general public, I guess the youth, to like open their minds, I guess. But it slowly corrupted his mind and he's turned him evil into what we're seeing now. So could that happen to Harry? Possibly. Like, we don't have that much of the season to go, but I think if they were going to do it, this is probably the best time to start. We could just see, like, the more he uses it, the more it corrupts his brain. So that could happen. They could turn him into some sort of villain, or maybe like some sort of thing for DeVoe, but it's possible. I will dive more in depth in that video later on, whenever it comes out in like the next 5 days or something. But I think it's a possibility, and they did sort of give us a hint at that last episode, with just the way that Harry was looking, and you can't trust a thinking cap. You can't trust a thinking cap. It's got a bad history on the show. We've only seen one. This is the second one, obviously, but the one that we saw used obviously didn't have a good effect on the person using it. So, yeah, I wouldn't be chucking one on my head, to be completely honest. But thank you very much for that, Jonah. Hopefully I gave the best response I could. Naruto with the Naruto 0076 with the $2 super chat once again. Thoughts on last week's Gotham episode? I loved it. Is Gotham on this week or is it on break as well? Hopefully it's on this week. But I liked Gotham this week. It's interesting seeing Poison Ivy without spoiling too much. The cool little cameo appearance by a certain character, which I was not expecting, was pretty cool, even though it was very vague at the same time. Yeah, I liked Gotham this week, and I can't wait to see more of it. They're teasing us a lot, aren't they? But it's pretty good as well. But thank you very much. Thank you very much for that, Naruto. Steven with the $2 super chat. Thank you very much for that, Steven. Big fan. Top three comic arcs. Sorry, for the next Fortnite event. You know what I wouldn't mind saying? And it sounds so weird. It sounds really weird, but like, I wouldn't mind it if the whole team time traveled back to... Has anyone seen the movie, the animated movie? I think it's called... Is it Justice League Frontier or Justice League The New Frontier? It's one of the two. But that movie, it's like the Justice League, but set in like the early 1900s, like maybe between 1910 and 1940. Has anyone seen that animated movie? I haven't seen it for like ages. I saw it like when it first came out. The New Frontier. I think it's The New Frontier. I wouldn't mind seeing that, you know. They have to time travel, or they get time traveled to a certain period, or they get stuck there and they have to figure out how to get back. Maybe the wave rider's broken. Maybe Barry can't run everyone, you know. So Barry would be the only one to time travel, or maybe something's wrong with his connection to the Speed Force and he can't time travel or something. They get stuck there and they have to figure out what's going on. That'd be really cool, being set in that time period. I'd want the time appropriate suits, you know what I mean? Like even Green Arrow has like the really old suit. That'd be really cool for like comic fans to see Green Arrow dressed like that. Even Flash dressed in like a really weird looking Flash suit. That'd be awesome, in my opinion, seeing that one. I know it's not a comic arc, but like a take on an animated movie. Like really, the Fortnite crossover this season was really a take on an animated movie, really, more than anything. I know there is like a comic book to attach to it, but it felt like that animated movie, whichever one it was. I can't remember. Crisis on 2 Earth, I think it was. It felt more like that. Obviously, the obvious one is Crisis on Infinite Earths. I think a lot of people would like to see that. Would I like to see it? I think the scale is a bit too big. One thing I wouldn't mind. What is it? Is it? I have it up there. I have the comic up there. It's like you can see up here. I have like a lot of books that I've read that are just up there, and there's just the big comic book is like buried in the back there. Is it Absolute Crisis? Absolute Crisis. DC Comics. Is it Absolute Crisis? Please don't tell me it's Absolute Crisis. Or is it Absolute Infinite Crisis? No, it's Absolute Identity Crisis that I've got up there, isn't it? It's Identity Crisis. Sorry for this. This is really unprofessional of me. It's Identity Crisis. Identity Crisis would be really cool, because that's basically a big like detective sort of thing. I would love to see that. That'd be really cool. Like, it's a big detective thing. I wouldn't mind seeing that. It does revolve around a murder of a character. It revolves around the murder of the wife of a character we have in the Arrowverse at the moment, without spoiling it. If you've read the comic arc, you'll know what it is. But you can look up Identity Crisis if you want to. And I really do like that that story arc. It was actually like, yeah, Identity Crisis. Did I say that? Identity Crisis? Damn it, someone spoiled it. Ethan, damn you. Yeah, Ralph Dibny's wife, it gets murdered. Sue Dibny gets murdered in the comic arc. They could change that. But it becomes like a whole mystery around that. There's lots of twists. They think it's this person. They portray this person as a sicko, even though they are a bit of a sicko. Actually, they are a sicko. They did the thing, but they weren't the one that killed the person. And it's a massive twist as to who is the person that found to be the murderer. It's actually a really good storyline, and it'd be really cool if they did that. If they really wanted to write a character out of the Arrowverse that seemed a bit shifty, or even didn't seem shifty, but they wanted to write them out in a really interesting way, They could kill one character, maybe like Lila. They could kill Diggle's wife if they wanted to, and then have another person in the Arrowverse as like the actual murderer. I think it'd be a really good storyline. It'd be something different and something unexpected. That'd be pretty cool. But that's probably the best. Those 3 stories I'd probably go for the Fortnite event off the top of my head, Steven. So hopefully you enjoyed those. Whatever Gaming with a $2 super chat. When do you think the Flash will end? What season? Well, I think we'll definitely get to season 7, but I think Flash could easily get to like season 10 just because they could just keep doing different villains and reusing Reverse Flash if they wanted to. So definitely season 7 at least, but I wouldn't be surprised if they got to season 10, but it really depends on the cast and whether they want to stick around or not. Super Base 1 with the $10 super chat. Thank you very much for that, Super Base. Thanks, Pagey. Also, I'm confused as to how so much time passed for him. Even if he traveled hundreds of years in the future, wouldn't the same amount of time have passed for him as it did Kara? I think for him it was like, was it 10 or 15? Somewhere between 10 and 15 years it was for Mon-El. Or was it 7 years? Something like, can someone confirm that in the comments? Like, how long was Mon-El gone for? Because he went like years and years in the future, but it was 7. Was it 7? 7 years. I thought it was 7, even though I said 10 to 15. It was 7. I knew it was 7 the whole time. When the same amount of time had passed for him as it did Kara. Well, no, because he was, for his life, he went 7 years in the future. So really, if he came back like 7 years in our future, you know, or like 6.5 years, I guess you want to say, he would be, like Kara would have aged the same amount that he would have in that time frame. But he was gone for 7 years, and then it just like, they had crashed years in the past. They came back to Earth, and they crashed like, what was it, like 1,000 years. It'd been under there for like 1,000 years or something, and then like the earthquake that started from the submarine or whatever it was, the missile from the submarine like woke up their ship. So they'd been undersea for like ages. I think it was like 1,200 years, was it? Yeah, it was something. It was like roughly 1,000 years. So they'd been under there for ages. Yeah, so he went hundreds of years in the future. So basically, like, here's where Mon-El was. He went hundreds of years in the future, and then he was there for about 7 years, and then he went whoop back like to like what 1,200 years in the past. Was it 1,316? Is that when they landed there? Okay, well, what, 700 years roughly, and then they got stuck there, but they were in like hibernation or whatever you want to call it. So they crashed there, but were in hibernation, so their bodies stayed the exact same. And then that missile launch in season, was it episode 1 of this season, woke their shit up. Woke their ship up, not their shit up. Woke their ship up. And that's where we continue. So it's confusing, I know. It seems weird, but that's the explanation around it. So hopefully I've explained that enough. But thank you everyone in the chat confirming it was 7 years. Because I thought it was between 10 and 15, but I remember the number 7. I was like, is it 7? I was like, no, it seemed like it might have been 10 to 15. But thank you very much for that super base. Hopefully that was a good enough response. Sam Heinrich, why did I say it? Just Sam with the $5 super chat. Felicity hacked your computer to see your notes. Laughing emoji. Probably. Eric didn't demonetize the stream yet. Jinx. By the way, if Eric gets Selena interviewed but can't, could you? Yeah, goddamn Felicity hacking my notes. I don't know. I think it's just like a coincidence. It's just like one of those coincidental things. Yeah, Eric hasn't been here. I think he's busy. He might be at hospital or something, or he's just like dealing with doing videos. Like YouTube's stuffed up today. If you didn't know, like the sub box. If no one's seen my trailer breakdown for The Flash, please go watch it, because I uploaded like in the prime time of the sub boxes being stuffed up. So if you've not watched my Flash trailer breakdown, feel free to go to my channel and watch it. It'd be much appreciated. There's another giveaway on that video as well if you want to enter it. Yeah, and Eric, the Selena Jade interview, it happens. If Eric can't make it, I could do it. I'd be willing to do it. Anything Arrow or Flash, I'm up for it. And I guess I've got like the ideas ingrained in my mind, so if I wanted to bring them up to her, I could just do it off the top of my head. But yeah, I don't know. It's Eric stuff. Like, I'm not the interviewee type, if you want to call it. I could easily do it, but it's up to Eric. So it's probably, if you want to get your stuff over to Selena, you're probably best to DM Eric, I guess, on Twitter or through his Discord or YouTube comments, I guess. But thank you very much for that, Sam. And then Naruto with a 0076 with the $5 super chat. Gotham spoiled that certain character by putting them in the trailer. I think you might be. I know what you're talking about, but I don't want to say it. But I know what you mean, not Naruto. I don't want to say it in case no one else has watched it. just in case. Do you watch other YouTube reactors? Who is your favorite? I don't really watch reaction channels unless you watch unless you mean like reviewers. Really just the people I guess I do the crossover channels with, and that's like Boba Talks, DJ Eric, and then DC TV Show, and that's really just to give them feedback and stuff. Ben needs as much feedback as he can get. I don't watch Gotham. I still can't spoil it just in case they're up. If you don't watch Gotham, like season 1 and 2, let's be honest, they're pretty crap. But season 3 and 4 are quite good. I'm going to end the stream like a couple of minutes, guys, so I'll answer a couple more questions. Should I watch Black Lightning? Yes, you should. I definitely give it a go. At least give it like 3 episodes and then decide if you don't like it after that. Possible season villains for Legends next year. I couldn't really predict anything. If it's multiverse, it'd be really cool if it was like a take on like the Injustice Society or stuff like that, like, you know, from another Earth. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe like alternate versions of our characters or alternate versions of people from the Arrowverse. That'd be pretty cool. But that's if they do multiverse. I'm set on them doing multiverse. If I don't get multiverse, I think I'll be a bit disappointed, but yeah. Do I play Fortnite? I do, but not like regularly. It's like really on and off whether I play it or not. How is Team Flash managing money for Star Labs, rent, food, etc., considering almost no one has an actual job? I think it's just like TV magic. It just happens, you know. I think if you set your mind on like trying to like break that down too much, I think you'll give yourself a migraine. I just try not to think about it too much, to be completely honest. Do you think Thea is leaving at the end of the next episode? Yeah, she will. Whether it's death or whether she like willingly leaves, I think she will be leaving with Roy. Do you have an Xbox? I do have an Xbox One. Yeah. I wish I lived rent-free. I think everyone on planet Earth wishes that, unless obviously they own the house, but mortgage-free maybe. That'd be pretty cool. The Flash has enough issues. We don't need financial problems too. That's true. That's true. Would I rather Cobalt Blue or Godspeed as next villain? Cobalt Blue. I'm about to go. Who is your favorite speedster in the comics and in the show? It's Barry Allen. Allen. Yeah, I do like Barry Allen the most. I think it was just because he was the Flash I read growing up. And even though he was, like, Wally West was the Flash in the Justice League cartoon, which you would think, I watched that when I was really young as well. You think I would have attached to him. Yeah, it was always Barry Allen. I just imagined that Wally was Barry, to be completely honest. I want a Rogues team up as a big bad for next season. It's hard to do the Rogues, I think, for a season villain. I know you could say like Legion of Doom and stuff, and even the Malice stuff, they've done it well, which is true, but I think for like Flash, just the way the show runs, it might be difficult. And to finish off the stream, I was literally just about to say I'm going to go. But Finn, you're human with the $1.99 super chat. For any of the shows, is there any villain you want? Well, the one villain I wanted for Arrow was Richard Dragon, and we got him this season, so I'm pretty happy. For Flash, it's Cobalt Blue. I want to see Cobalt Blue, even though Godspeed would be pretty cool, but I think it's hard to do a season-long run with Godspeed, so that might be difficult. And with Legends of Supergirl, I really don't have an opinion, to be completely honest. Sorry, I just knocked my water bottle. But yeah, definitely for Flash, Cobalt Blue, and then Godspeed for maybe like half a villain arc, or half a season arc. And then Arrow, I got my wish with Richard Dragon. So, thank you very much for that, Finn, you're human, with the $1.99 super chat and that question. And that's it. Yeah, they could do Godspeed and Cobalt teaming up. Like, could do Cobalt as like the actual villain for the season, but they could do Godspeed as like the half villain. They could even give it that Cobalt Blue maybe takes speed from someone else and gives it to Godspeed because he knows he's evil. They could do it that way if they wanted to. And it's sort of just a mess with Team Flash while Cobalt Blue figures out his own stuff and how he's going to go about things. But thank you very much for this. Thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. Thank you to everyone that super chatted and supported the channel and helped me out. It's very much appreciated. You don't understand how much I appreciate it. But thanks to everyone that did that. Even if you just watched and didn't talk or contribute, appreciate it heaps. If you just tune in and watch, that's awesome. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, follow my Discord, subscribe if you're not subscribed, all that stuff is in the description. And yeah, I'll be streaming tomorrow about like whatever time it is where you are now, take away 5 hours from that and I'll be streaming at this time tomorrow. And yeah, I'll catch you later, guys. Hopefully you have a good night, day, morning, wherever you are. And yeah, I'll see you later. Goodbye. Actually, I'm back. The Tube Titan dropping in the late. He came in overtime. He came in overtime with the donation. Tube Titan, keep me on. Will the did your space bar break? The Tube Titan anyway. Well, we'll see the speedster with purple lightning from season 3, as in the accelerated man. Maybe I was really hoping that this episode with Run RS Run, they would explain the purple lightning and possibly what it meant. It could give us a hint as to what the accelerated man's lightning or Earth 19 flash meant, but we didn't. So I wouldn't be expecting accelerated man back, but they did make him a really cool suit, which makes you think, like, why aren't we going to get it anymore? Like, they would have spent money on that suit, which looked really comic accurate. So why aren't we getting it? You know, it's a bit disappointing, but will we see him again? I wouldn't put your hopes on it, but I'd hope to see him again, hopefully, if that makes sense. And you off gaming, keeping me back for double overtime. Do you think Eddie could be Godspeed? If I was going to put money on Eddie being a villain, I would go with Co-op Blue, to be completely honest. Godspeed, I would go with someone else. Just because I think if they did Godspeed, it would be half an arc. So you just want it to be some random, to be completely honest. And make the end villain, if it was like Co-op Blue, make him Eddie. I think that's better off. Sam, triple overtime. God, are we going into a rematch or something? Because I think after triple overtime, you have to do something else. Anyway, triple overtime with Sam with the $2 super chat. Just support and to say goodbye 1 second longer with the crying emoji face. Yeah, you are killing me. No, I'm just joking. But thank you, Sam, for that. Very much appreciated. But I'm actually going now. Thank you for everyone that tuned in. I'll be streaming this time tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll see some of you there. Watch my new video from today if you haven't watched it. And yeah, I'll catch you later. Goodbye.